You guys had 13 hits today. 12 of them, though, were with 2 strikes. What does that say about the team-wide approach today?
Yeah, we got good hitters, right? And when we're not afraid or not uncomfortable getting to 2 strikes and still be able to put together a really good at bat and not afraid to go the other way, or if they make a mistake, we're still going to do damage. It says a lot about the group that we got there, whether it's aggressive with first pitches or if we want to work on at bat and get behind in counts, like find a way to get back in counts, find a way to get to hitters count, whether it's 3-2, and we did that today and putting the ball in play. I think that's the other thing that we talk a lot, especially with the hitting coaches, putting the ball in play where we need to, understanding the situation, and we did that today.
There was another game recently where you guys had a lot of 0-2 hits. When you talk about the comfort level, getting to 2 strikes and putting the ball in play, going the opposite way, obviously you've got a lot of good hitters, but have you seen the team buying into that more as the season has gone on here?
I don't know, but it's good to see those guys getting results when they get behind in counts. You still want to control the zone. You still want to take advantage of mistakes. You still want to be aggressive early in counts. But once they execute, and if you do get behind, like you're still in the at bat. You still got to fight. You still got to look for ways to put the ball in play. And it feels like we're doing that. It was good to see Baty. I think it was 1-2. And Taillon left a sinker over the plate, and he's able to drive it the other way. That's a perfect example. Not only just putting the ball in play, but he drove it the other way. So those are some good signs overall as a team.
Tim?
You mentioned before the game wanting to get those lefties in there. And then when Baty and McNeil go deep, in addition to Lindor and Soto, is it satisfying when a plan comes together like that?
Yeah, but look, every day there's reasons, but good reason, not just reason. There's good reasons, the way we construct the lineup, who's playing, who sits. And yes, we got good players, and a lot of times we're going to have success, and a lot of times it's not going to work. Today, yeah, it was great, it worked, but it's baseball. Sometimes it's going to go our way, sometimes. But it was good to see the lefty, especially today, that were in the lineup doing some damage there.
Dan?
You mentioned the splits before the game, but Taillon hadn't given up a homer to a lefty all year. Is there something that you saw from the guys?
Yeah, no. So I'm looking at his numbers this year, and he's been a lot better against lefties. And what am I missing here? So I digged in. For me, it's still a small sample size here. I went back, the past few years, and when you look at what lefties do against him, they do damage. So I didn't want to put too much into it. Yes, five starts, I think it was. I didn't want to put too much into it. I just, you know what, I'm going to load up the lefties, and I'm glad it worked out today.
Bill?
How good was your starter today?
It was really good. And on a day that the sinker had a lot of movement. It was windy, and the ball was moving a lot. I remember, I think it was after the first inning, Alvy coming back to the dugout and telling me, man, that sinker is moving a lot. So I was like, well, you got to find a way to keep him on the plate, and they obviously did it. But he went to the changeup when he needed to. He went to the breaking ball when he needed to, and made it look easy at night where it wasn't the best conditions for his pitch repertoire, if you want to call it, and he found a way.
Why has he been able to make the transition from closer to starter?
Well, there's a lot to like there. Started early in spring training, but just buying in, knowing that he's got weapons now that he can go and rely. It's not just 2 pitches. It's finding a way to get through a lineup 2-3 times and just limiting damage. I think just it's a different mindset now that I feel like now he's in a very good place and having the understanding of what he's doing. Hey, I'm going to give up a couple of runs here. I'm still going to give the team a chance. As a reliever, as a closer, you give up 2, the game might be over, and then it becomes story. So right now, I feel like he's in a really good place physically, mentally, and he continues to adjust.
Manny?
What did the umpires tell you? I forget who the hitter was. He swung at a pitch.
Yeah, no, I call right away. As soon as the ball hits the batter, it's a dead ball. So it's a strike. He swung, but he hit him. So as soon as he hits him, it's a dead ball. So they got it right.
And just with Daniel Nunez, what are you seeing from him here early on?
Yeah, he gets the first guy out, and then he lost the strike zone. He's having a hard time throwing strikes. I think he threw the first pitch to Lopez behind him. I'm not sure from the dugout, but we were all asking, was that behind the hitter? And then he was few pitches that were ball out of the hand, non-competitive pitches. He was able to get a huge out there on Tucker after a couple of walks. So we take the positive there. But again, this is a guy that we saw last year. He's got good stuff, but he's not afraid to attack hitters. Right now, I feel like he's having a hard time throwing strikes.
Jerry, on the right.
How impressive is that eighth inning at bat by Francisco? Legs out the infield single, errant throw, then still second. Juan drives him home. Obviously a good start for Francisco. What's that say for a player of his caliber to be playing that hard in a game that looks like it's fairly out of hand?
Yeah, I think not so much the at bat. I think hustling down the line. When you're up 5 and he's still, giving everything he's got and putting pressure on the defense, and he forced a play there that they threw the ball away, gets on base, steals a base, and then Soto with the RBI hit adding on. So for me, yes, he was able to put the ball in play, but the play right there was running down the line and putting pressure on the defense.
In the back.
Is it an extra lift to get a home run from your leadoff batter in the game?
I don't know that it's always good when out of the gate your leadoff guy puts pressure and hits one out. Like, I think he sets the tone, but that's who he is. He's been doing this for quite a bit now, and when he gets going, guys will feed off that, and we show that today.